Alrighty, perfect timing. Perfect timing, and it is indeed a ZVZ, guys, for map 1. I'm happy. We are no longer busting out the Protoss here, baby. It is Neon Violet Square. It is the two Basilisk boys going at it in the quarterfinals. It's upper bracket, it's double elim. So nobody's tournament life is on the line here. But it's obviously a big series. It's always a big series when these two guys play against each other. It was almost a year that they battled with one another. And now we get to see them for the second time within a week. Let's do it. I'm in the game as well, so no clean feed, no lag. We can observe. You guys have questions. You want to see something. Units lost, resource tab, production tab, units, whatever. Want to see if somebody scouted something. You shout at me and we can show it. I love it.
Let's get it on.
Round 1. Fight!
Here we go. In the bottom right side of Neon Violet Square. We're looking at the main base of the Italian Stallion. Busting out a Zerg today. Hopefully in all the games. This is Reynor. And in the top left side, we're looking at the main base of the champ of the Masters Colosseum. He made Lambo work overtime. Lambo had to re-record his video because he, of course, could not stop winning. He always wins. And he's opening things up. Double hatch before pool. Ay caramba. I love it. The Finnish phenom. It is Serral. And we've got the best Age of Empires 4 player in the world in the chat. Hello, Alexi. Did you have fun last weekend, Alexi? Did you like the event? And how's Benny doing? I feel like I haven't heard much of Benny lately. Is Ben still good, or what's happening with our boy? Why are you not helping him out? Bring Benny back to the top. I need to see some Marine Lord against Demo Grand Finals. I feel like it's all about you. So double hatch before pull. Serral taking the pocket expand. Now this base is not an entire base. It only has 4 mineral patches. Curious what Serral is going to do with it. Will obviously still be good for his economy, but also will force you to eventually take a forward base. Probably a little bit earlier than you normally would like to go up to 4 bases, because you won't get a full 3 base economy out of that. He will play a decider match versus Beastie. Ooh. When is that happening? I would like to watch that, even though I don't know anything about Age of Empires, but that is something I'd love to watch. Reynor hitting us with a mega quick lair here, by the way, guys. Reynor maybe is feeling that something like this is happening. Reynor has been vocal about his EVZs. He says, when I play against Serral, it's either he all-ins me or we play turbo bangers. Perhaps Reynor is going to switch it up and he's going to be the one all-inning Serral here. Could also just be incredibly quick Mutas. It is definitely an option. And we've seen some great games of Reynor playing Mutas in the past. I like it. And Reynor will too take his pocket base, but obviously he's taking it a little bit later. Serral also, by the way, still hitting us with a real quick lair. For a double hatch before pool opening and Zergling speed on the way, this is definitely very quick too. So it's all out, at least macro at first. Let's see where we go. Worker counts are dead even, but Serral is going to take a little lead soon. Reynor indeed hits us with a very quick Spire. Wonder what Serral will do. Serral, I think theoretically could also go Spire. I don't think that will hurt him all that bad. Reynor's Mutas are going to be out earlier, but Neon Violet Square is a very big map, so I don't know if Reynor can really get a whole lot done with those Mutas. This is going to be fun. Not even, still no Zergling speed, by the way, on the side of Reynor. Reynor is playing this as greedy as he humanly can. He has made 0 Zerglings. We've seen a couple of Korean ZVZs in the past where people would play like this. This is omega greedy. Serral at least went for Zergling speed, also goes for Aspire. Reynor has skipped everything. This is a fun start. I mean, Reynor should have a... I don't know, it's very hard to say. Should Reynor have a tiny advantage in the Muta against Muta? Because he didn't invest in Zergling speed. Perhaps. But Serral is the one who went to double hatch before pool, so that's gonna give him a little economic advantage. Reynor, by the way, does need to make sure that he can soon deal with some Zerglings, because 20 Lings flying around. Lings are really quick. I mean, technically they walk. going to be hard to deal with when you just have a few Mutalisks that are trying to chase it up. This is the overlay. I cannot change the overlay, Ryberg. I cannot change the overlay. The overlay is set. 16 links coming out of Yona. They're going to take a interesting route through the bottom left. Serral is first Mutas flying. Reynor is first Mutas flying to the other side of the map. I'm worried here for Reynor. Reynor is going to try to take the gold, but that is absolutely not going to work. This gold is going to get cancelled immediately. I hope at least it's going to get cancelled. Reynor is going to struggle, guys, with these Zerglings because he's got nothing. He's got absolutely nothing. He does not have Zergling speed yet. The Mutas are now forced to turn around, so that first Muta move out was not quite it. And Serral is going to get himself in a pretty decent spot here immediately. It's going to be 4 base Serral against 3 base Reynor. Reynor played incredibly greedy. Did not see those Zerglings sneak through the bottom left side. And now this kind of feels that Serral is flying and is running away with it. Sad. Sad for Reynor. Muta count 10 against 13. Yeah, nothing looks good for Reynor anymore. Obviously, mirror matchups, especially if you're doing the same thing, are going to be always very brutal. And that is the same in PvP with Stalker, or in TVT if one guy has a bunch of Ravens, the other one doesn't. They're building the exact same units. Serral just has more, has a better economy. Is ahead, will just get further ahead. Serral's also going for the better upgrade in Muta Wars. Like Carapace is technically better than flyer attacks. I'm afraid that Reynor is going to tap out very early. The first time he's going to lose a Muta fight. And I think it's inevitable that he's going to lose a Muta fight. But I hope that I'm wrong. His links do find a little opening at this 9 o'clock base. Hello, Vodka. Seven minutes in. Serral ahead. And will probably continue to be ahead. Reynor does have +1 melee, so he might be able to make some magic happen on the ground. And if Serral does not push his advantage, he's got way more Mutalisks now, by the way, guys. It is 31 Mutas against 20. That's going to be so freaking difficult for Reynor. Reynor is just going to try to buy time. Does not want to engage in a Muta war here. I think Serral will just pounce this base as soon as he feels like it is the right time to do so, and that could very well be it right now. I must have misread something, by the way, because we didn't have as many Mutas earlier as I thought we had. But it is a 30 against 24. Now maybe with some Queen support, maybe with some Lings on the ground that can soak up some of the bouncing glaives, we have a shot. Defender's advantage is real. Might not be the worst fight ever for Reynor. We fight right here, but Serral setting up another big Zergling run by. Baneling Nest is on the way, but it's not quite out yet. Kudos to Reynor though for like kind of surviving what I thought was going to be a very, very, very scary phase. He's not totally there yet. He's absolutely not truly there yet. And this is where Serral knows his base is fully saturated, and this is where Serral is going to send it. He's got 8 more Mutas. There is no creep connecting the natural to that gold. The Queens can't really come over. Reynor continues to lose some drones. He has lost 15 drones and only killed 2. Serral wants to force this fight right now. Reynor has a couple of Lings on the ground, but this fight will never go Reynor's way. Serral just has a few more Mutalisks. Now extra Lings do show up to soak up more of the bouncing glaives. But the numbers don't lie. It is like a Phoenix against Phoenix. It's like Viking against Viking. One guy just has more, gets ahead, gets further ahead, has a stronger economy. And it is Serral. Honestly, mostly because of the first Zergling run by. The Lings that he snuck to the bottom left side. That takes the 1-0 lead. Reynor went omega greedy, skipped out on Zergling speed, just trying to get that Spire up as quickly as possible. Did not see those Lings leave. Yeah, having absolutely 0 Zerglings. Like, Serral doesn't need 40 Lings there to do crazy damage. With just 14, 16 Lings against a man who's got 0 Lings. And then what's even more unfortunate for Reynor is that he had 8 or so Mutalisk outright before Serral. They flew to the other side of the map. They couldn't get anything. And by the time that they're almost there where they could maybe do some stuff, they had to come back to help out against the Zerglings. So. Neon Violet Square is a bit of a weird map because of that pocket expand that you can go for. Serral chose the better build order with great execution and takes the 1-0 lead. Yuna looking good. And game 2 will be played on Abyssal Reef between these two games. Getting 10x on Reynor is pretty crazy. Like, I understand that a lot of people look at Serral as the favorite coming into this series, but 10x is pushing it a little bit. Oh well. Serral is the champ of the Masters Colosseum. And Reynor has played a lot of games with champs lately, but it's not quite the champ at the moment. So let's see. Never counting out the Italian Stallion though. It'd be silly to do so. And Neon Valley Square is a weird map. It's a bit of a one-off. I think the other games are going to look different. With those odds, like, I cannot do any channel point gambling in the Netherlands, but if I was watching on a different channel and I could get 10-1 on Reynor beating Serral, I mean, that's a no-brainer. I would always take that. Because then even if you would bet on Serral, you won't win that much, right? And even a Reynor that may not be quite as sharp as the Reynor that won IM Katowice and Game S8 a long time ago will have a puncher's chance, especially in ZVZ. Let's see if game 2 is fun, exciting, and close.
Round 2. Fight!
Here we go. In the bottom right side of Abyssal Reef, we are looking at the main base of the man that's representing BASILISK. It is Reynor. There is a lower bracket, so not the end of the world if he drops to the lower bracket here. In the top left side, already won a massive online event in the month of January, but obviously would love to start the year off with the double. It is the Finnish Phenom, the finisher. It is Serral. I saw the updated list marvelous times and can't hate on the updated list. I think everything, it should be a best of 5 unless they've lied to me, but it says best of 5 here, but that's what I do. I'm like 99% certain it's a best of 5. I like the updated GOAT list of Miesenhauer. All the changes he made, they make sense to me. I don't still necessarily agree with the entire top 10, but all the changes he made, I do agree with. It is a good list. Well, he has best of 5 as well, then we just assume it's a best of 5, mate. Now, I think I asked the players, they said best of 5. I asked the admin, it's best of 5. Should just be a best of 5. We'll know for sure after the first series ends, but Mura versus Mura, but Serral initially was the greedier of the two, but then Reynor also went mega greed to catch up, skipped Zergling speed, and got punished by 14 links or 16 links. And Serral just had more. Those kind of games are incredibly frustrating if you're behind. Especially if you're behind against Serral. But even if that would have not been Serral, but would have been any of the other best 5 Zergs in the world, at that point it is super difficult to win that. You're working with the exact same tools. You have the exact same vision. The other guy just has more. I mean, maybe like trying to retake the gold after it already got cancelled once is the one mistake we can say Reynor made. But Reynor will obviously tell you that he has to do that, otherwise he's dead. But you can make an argument for saying that if you take the low ground base or you take the base above your natural from Reynor's position, that you have creep connecting the bases and maybe you can take a good fight with a Spore Crawler. That's the only thing that maybe Reynor could have done different. I like that he tried to take the gold the first time, but once it got cancelled, he should have gone for a different base. Both players going up to 3 bases. We have Link Speed on the way. Both of them are making an honest bailing nest the way they should. For a long time it was somewhat popular to skip out on the bailing nest and just make like a few links a tiny bit earlier. Make sure that all the action takes place on the other side of the map, and then if you skip out on the bailing nest you can go straight into roaches. And if the game then turns into a roach versus roach battle, all your gas went into roaches and you could have a tiny advantage. But it's very risky, because if your opponent is mega aggressive with Link Bane and you don't have any Banelings, you could die. Reynor is the one who goes for an evolution chamber first. Serral is the one who's just running up a little bit harder. Made one safety Bane. scouting with his own Zerglings on the other side of the map, just trying to get a good idea of what Reynor is up to. See if he can see anything important come out of these hatcheries. Reynor opens things up with Carapace. Could scream a nice timing of like Roaches, Lings, and Ravagers. Having +1 Carapace can be very useful. Also allows your Lings to survive a Baneling connection. They won't have a lot of HP, but they'll have a tiny bit of HP. And Lings with 1 HP can still deal a lot of damage. And Roaches don't fire incredibly quick. So a bunch of 1 HP Lings could be annoying to deal with. We'll keep an eye on it. For now it is Serral who has fired up the lair. He fires up +1 missile attacks. Reynor gets a really good scout off with that little Ling. Gets into the main base, sees the timing of the lair, the gas, the Evo chamber. And is Reynor gonna send it? It's starting to look like it, guys. Serral needs to stop droning. Now, Abyssal Reef is a very big map, to be fair. It is not easy for... oh man, Serral has no idea at this point. I can't really blame Serral. A little scout there. He's still droning, man. Serral is going up to 4 bases and 67 drones. Reynor is going to all-in Serral here. It is 50 army supply against 14. From here on out, Serral will make nothing but Lings. We are following the first-person view of Serral at the moment. Can he hold? I mean, if Serral holds this, then Reynor should just absolutely never, ever, ever do this build again on Abyssal Reef. Because then it's never going to work. Serral has immediately cancelled the 4th base by the looks of it. And he is now going to try to survive with a lot of Spines, a couple of Banes. Reynor is going to morph a lot of Banelings in the face of Serral. Reynor will have Carapace for this fight, Serral does not. It should be an impossible hold, even for the Finnish Phenom, but let's see. Serral is always capable of magic. That's not a bad Baneling connection to kick things off with for Serral, but Reynor should just have so much. Reynor's got an upgrade lead and Reynor just has so many units. Serral did not expect Reynor to be this aggressive on a large map like Abyssal. The Spines are starting to finish up. Serral is going to have reinforcements for days. Serral's going to have a lot of reinforcements. The Spines are moving closer. Reynor is starting to kill some drones, but to make this attack work, Reynor needs to kill all the drones. And every second that goes by where Reynor doesn't find crucial damage, I start believing more and more in the chances of Serral. And Serral is seconds away from getting his own +1 missile attacks, has taken the supply lead. The Spines have really made a difference here. Now, there's of course 3 bases against 3 bases, upgrade against upgrade. But Serral is ridiculous. Serral is ridiculous and he holds. Wow. Wow. I mean, yeah, I think we've said it all. A 20-something drone advantage, going up to 4 bases, down an upgrade for the majority of that fight. I mean, Abyssal is a really large map, and it does kind of suck to think to go for hatchery attack all-ins, but it kind of worked out perfectly for Reynor. Serral did not expect it because of the map. Serral had a good Baneling connection in the beginning of the fight against a couple Lings. Serral, his Spinecrawler positioning was picture perfect. It was really hard for Reynor to really get nice and close on top of those Spines. And somehow he holds. I mean, Serral's ridiculous. Serral is really ridiculous. Yeah, there were so many Spines left over as well. It's not even that there was like only 1 Spine. There were so many Spines left over. What a man. The great Jonas Atala is truly special. And the series that a lot of you guys were looking forward to, and I was really looking forward to, could be a very short one. We're not even 23 minutes in, and Serral is already at match point. Hey, Yona is just so fascinating, not just because of how incredibly good he is and how much he has won, but he's just where some people struggle with motivation or where some people take it a bit easier in certain times. Serral's got certain periods where he just says, I don't play. Like between Christmas and New Year's, he doesn't play. Then he takes a couple days after New Year's. But once he's back, he just goes hard. And it doesn't matter if the next big tournament is a week from now or a month from now or maybe never, because we don't know. Serral, he just starts going at it. He's motivated. He becomes sharp so quick. It is truly fascinating that this man can still do what he does like 7 years into his amazing career. He's obviously played a bit longer than that, but I think Serral started peaking in 2018. Maybe let's say 2017. So we're entering like the 8th year of him being one of the very best, if not the best in the world. And the man takes a tiny break, does military service, comes back, starts playing, starts winning immediately.
Round 3.
Fight.
What can this man do? In the past, a long time ago, he has been able to come out victorious quite a few times. Online, offline, over the Finnish Phenom, in ZVZs, and in his glory days, I think this man's ZVZ was gnarly. It was amazing. Doesn't quite seem like we are living in the glory days of the Italian stallion at the moment, but never count him out. It's Reynor. I think Reynor's not playing Protoss because he tried it twice in Masters Coliseum and it wasn't even close, right? It just didn't the first game on Abyssal, to be fair, maybe, because Serral was committed. The Neon Violet Square game was not even close. That looked a little bit like me playing against a world-class Zerg. So, I think Reynor also knows that he has just not done enough high-level PvZ practice to really put up a good fight against Serral, and that's why he's playing Zerg. Because he did win a game in ZVZ on Frostline, and the other ZVZs, they had some potential. But today, nobody's has seen a whole lot of potential in either of these two games. In the bottom left side, he's up to representing Basilisk. It is Serral. Reynor did not leave early there, guys. Reynor was down in workers. Reynor did not have lair tech. Serral still had a million spines that he could also just rely on in the future. Like, I don't think... Sure, Reynor could have gone home and played from very far behind and maybe just set up good defensive fights, but Reynor was incredibly giga committed there. That I don't think that was an early leave at all. I think he was pretty dead. Ley lines, game 3, link speed on the way for both players. Serral already has a drone on location to become a 3-base Zerg. Reynor's on the same thing, guys, but the expand pattern is a tiny bit different. Reynor has taken the third underneath his natural, while Serral's taking the triangle setup. What does this mean? We'll keep an eye on it. Could be mind games. Reynor could have a very specific plan, and he obviously, I think, knows that taking the triangle is standard here in ZVZ. I may hope that he's done enough ZVZs on lane lines to know that. Maybe he's trying to bait out a certain reaction by Serral, or he's got his own plan. Reynor's making a lot of links at this point, guys. There's no Baneling nest yet, so I guess Reynor is going to go straight into a Roach War. No, there is a Baneling nest going down now. That's pretty late. So a lot of links early on. Serral's Baneling nest is done. Serral's going to make his first Bane. Is droning now. Here come all the links of Reynor. Is there a world where Reynor gets what he's looking for? Splits off 4 Zerglings. 2 of them get surrounded immediately. Not an ideal start. The other one dies to the Queen. Reynor gets a good fight against the Lynx, but now the first Bane is done. The second Bane is on the way. Reynor needs to somehow activate this Baneling and obviously not lose too much. Hatchery is very low though. The hatchery is very low. Reynor wants it bad. Is there transfuse available? I don't think so. Great Link movement. Great Link movement by Reynor. And Reynor gets what he is looking for. It's a big investment, all those links early on, but Reynor gets what he is looking for. Nice micro there. Triple Bane morphing on the side of Reynor. Maybe worried about the immediate counterattack by Serral. Serral has a few roaches already. It's 8 roaches. Holy smokes, that is a lot. Reynor's Roach Warren is very late. If these 8 roaches are able to make it to the other side of the map, Reynor, his Zerglings will see a roach, will see a drone that is not quite there yet. So the counterattack here is promising, but Reynor needs to worry about what is happening in his own natural. I wonder what the Lynx are doing of Reynor. I would have loved to see him maybe just surround like 1 roach at a time. Serral says, you take out my third, I'm gonna take out yours. And he still has all the roaches there. I'm very worried here for Reynor, because 1 Baning could literally be the end of this best of 5. Reynor is incredibly Ling heavy. Oh, there's a lot of Banelings morphing here. Reynor needs to be so cautious, and he is. Serral, quite casually. He lost the Bane there. Gets the 3rd base of Reynor. Reynor's Roach Warren is done. He's trying to get rid of this one Baneling, and he does. Now he's got his own Banelings coming in, but bit of a weird moment for Reynor, his Banelings to be in the mix. Because all of the Experlings were not there. Serral's going to try to get his Roaches in the best possible spot, but Reynor will get a full surround. Gets everything. Now it's two-face against two-face. The gloves are off. The boys are swinging. I love it. Oh, this Baneling. I'm worried for Reynor because I don't think he's going to expect this. Oh my god. Alright. The Italian Stallion is awake. He is sharp. That could have been a total disaster, but it is not. You say it's looking very bad for Reynor? I don't think it's that bad. It's 2 queens, 2 queens. Reynor's got more links. No, I don't think it's looking that bad for Reynor. Serral's third base is a tiny bit earlier, but I think it's very playable. I think it's very even. It really just comes down to execution. Oh, that's good for Reynor. That's 2 for like 4. Only 2 Banelings remain on the side of Yona. Reynor wants to see his own Banelings find some juicy connections. Serral does a great job though scouting it, but Reynor got the hatchery. Was that a kill? That was a kill. Reynor used some extra Lings and Banes on top of that hatchery to kill the third base of Serral once more. And this is still hatchery tech gaming. There is no lair. Now Serral's going to make even more units, and he's going to try to kill the third base of Reynor again. I love CBC. It's so fun. You attack, I attack, you attack, I attack, you attack, I attack. I love it. Honestly, I like it for Reynor though. Reynor's got that Roach Warren done right now, and he's not down in a lot of Roaches. He's up 5 workers. I think Reynor is very slowly running away with this. Now, I don't want to be too dramatic. Serral fires up 11 drones. That is a lot of workers. Reynor is Zerglings. Do not get in, but really good reactions by Reynor this game. Reynor has already avoided 3 absolutely disastrous scenarios. Yeah, I think Reynor is ahead, absolutely. Now it's Serral, so we're definitely not calling this game. Never call a game of Yona. Just like you never call a TVP where Clem is behind. You don't just say that Serral is dead. But right now I do like Reynor's position a whole lot more. That's true, Alex, but I also think that Reynor was a little bit different than this one. Reynor can still become that animal, but to become that animal, you really need to put in a crazy amount of hours. And Reynor's obviously been playing, right? And he's been keeping an eye on a lot of games. He watches a lot, and he still plays a couple games here and there. But the Reynor that fell down 0-2-0 or 1-2 in championship runs was a mega sharp Reynor that was playing StarCraft all day, every game. Right now, I think he's playing, but definitely not that much. Shout out to Instant for the 3 months. I appreciate it. I never said he's mostly playing low, but he's playing a lot of League. And that is his right. Reynor is a free man. It's not like Reynor is skipping out on tournaments. Reynor played in the Masters Coliseum, had a deep run. Reynor played in the LiuLi Cup. He's in the playoffs. So, like, if Reynor is playing League of Legends while there is a big offline event going on, then you can say something about, like, Reynor is playing too much League. But it's not like he's not trying or not signing up for stuff. And so far he's looking mighty fine here in Game 3 against Serral. Serral's got 2 Banelings. Serral has built a lot of drones to catch up with the economic deficit that he was looking at. He's going to be forced to pull the drones. The corrosive balls of Reynor. I love the positioning there. And this is just all the Italian Stallion, baby. He is showing us that he absolutely still got it. Game 1 and Game 2 may not have gone his way, but this is an incredibly clean, sexy Game 3 by Reynor with a couple of great reflexes. Where if he was just a little bit slower, he would have lost 40 links to a Baneling 3 times over. But he didn't. Mega Reynor is the best StarCraft for a viewer. I mean, I'm a bit biased in that regard, mate, because obviously I'm really good friends with Reynor and I'm teammates with him. But I do think that Reynor, just like how life was a long time ago, if they're truly on point, if they're really feeling it, it's not just really high level, it's just fun to watch. Because there is so much happening. Basically, anything cool is happening at any given moment. There. I agree with that. If Reynor is playing his A++ game, as Demo would call it, it's really fun. And last game was good. It was really, really good by Reynor. He set the pace. He was the one who struck first. Dealt great with the counter-aggression. Still had presence on the other side of the map. It was hectic, it was chaotic, it was fast. I thought it was awesome. Amygdala is going to be map 4. Very full lobby, by the way, guys. I'm not the only one who was interested in the LiuLi Cup. I also casted the LiuLi Cup qualifiers a couple weeks ago. And let me just tell you that the lobbies did not look like this. You know, when there is a little Asia qualifier or an American qualifier going on, it's basically me and the cranky ducklings. But the quarterfinals, Serral, Reynor, everybody wants to have a little good look at that from up close. What is the max limit on observers? It's probably something like this, mate. I think we're very close there. It's like 12 or 14, something among those lines. Round 4. I would love a game 5. I don't care who wins in game 5. I mean, I do always like rooting for the underdog, and based on the channel points, Reynor is a very clear underdog. And as I said, I love Reynor, obviously, but I'm not going to pick favorites among these two guys. But I would love to see a game 5. That goes without saying. Let's do it. Round 4.
Round 4.
Fight!
Round 4, the first of 4 very high-level series that we get to watch today. Masters Coliseum ended on Sunday, but the great StarCraft will continue today for, honestly, 5-6 days in a row. Even next Monday, we have another LiuLi Cup as well, with a $50 bonus for the highest placing Zerg. So maybe we'll see one of these two. Maybe they really want those 50 buckies from Roddy and Life on End, but mostly Roddy first and then Life on End. Top right side, guys, Italian Stallion. It is Reynor. Bottom left side of Amygdala, we are looking at the main base of the Finnish Phenom. He's still up 2-1, and let's not forget how amazing he looked in game 1 and game 2. This is Serral. Curious where they're gonna go. These two will have so much history with each other, and even games like from patches way ago will sometimes play a tiny role in a best of 3 or in a best of 5 that they play against each other in this day and age. Because they will think back of some of their great moments and great games. Even way before they were teammates on BASILISK, Reynor did say that some of his absolute favorite memories of StarCraft 2 are the era where it kind of felt like it was him and Serral traveling around the world, backpacking, flying together to duke it out with the best Korean players in the world. And it often would start off with a lot more foreigners, but they would all drop, and then it often came down to Reynor and Serral as the two European Zerg brothers against all the Koreans. Reynor said that. Well, that's some of his favorite stuff to now already look back at, even though he's still a world-class player. He's still, I think, absolutely capable of hitting a Neil Prime, perhaps even higher than before. But he will always think very fondly of Yona. And then again, who doesn't? Who does not? Identical openings so far. Let's see if Reynor once more takes an expand at a slightly different location. Maybe just to switch things up a little bit. Doesn't seem to be the case. Serral will take his triangle-based setup, and Reynor is going to do the exact same thing. As soon as he's got money. And he does. The first 2 links of Serral. I'm going to start working on it, soften it up a little bit. Obviously not a whole lot you're going to get done here. Kind of mirroring each other's Overlord positioning as well. Keeping an eye on this ramp. Keeping an eye on this path. There is still something you can do to be a tiny bit clever on the Amygdala, because you've got the little low ground here. And if your links would go, let's say, very close to this side, this Overlord, I don't think sees all of it. It sees this area, this part of the ramp, would not see this part. But well, Serral is the first one to fire up 12 links. We'll keep an eye on it. It's almost weird, man, to do Serral versus Reynor at 30 minutes past 1. This is just such an ultimate Friday night, Saturday night series. You know, where you've already had a long day. And you've been yapping, and you've been having memes, and this is the one thing that you were looking forward to. And that's just so early. But still fun. Even though I prefer it to be a little bit later. Serral is going to continue to work on this hatch, but Reynor's got plenty of banelings to keep it safe for now. Serral lost 2 banelings, I guess against Link somewhere. I did see them. Seems like Serral lost 2 banelings against not a whole lot. Maybe a small defensive error on the side of Serral. Maybe Reynor just poked with like 1 or 2 links. Because I don't think that Serral morphed any banelings on Reynor's side of the map. So. An ever so slight advantage for Reynor. Unless Reynor had a baneling run by. It's still very even, doesn't matter. One baneling is going to soften up the banes of Reynor, and one of them actually, I think, manually got detonated there. Reynor did not quite get the connection he was looking for. Serral continues to be active with Zerglings in the top left. Reynor's got an answer for it. As it is now Reynor who is the first one to make a serious amount of roaches. Serral's worst quality is that he accidentally is detonating Banes. I'll go back into the replay and see what happened. It was around minute 3, so it won't be very hard. I'm confused. I'm bothered when I miss something, but there was a fight happening over here, so I just kept an eye on it. I always keep an eye on the minimap. I didn't see a lot moving around, but I'll get to the bottom of it. I'm sorry that I missed it. Lair timings are quite identical. Serral gets a single Zergling deep into the main base of Reynor just to give himself the confirmation that this is not Abyssal Reef. This time Reynor is actually tacking up. And Reynor takes a lot of gases immediately. 6 gases. Are Reynor gonna play Quick Spy here, guys? Yeah, there is a tiny window, and I have seen Serral find some windows that I legitimately didn't even mention because I didn't think it was worth mentioning. Whereas, like, Serral's got +2 missile attacks 11 seconds earlier, but that shouldn't matter. And then somehow 80 units fight each other with +2 against +1. And you're like, alright. And by the time that the opponent has +2, already lost 44 units. It's like, well, it did matter, guys. Reynor is indeed going to go for a quick spy as Serral has tried to take this forward base, taking out the rocks. Honestly, I don't hate this for Reynor right now. Did Serral's oversee a scout, but nope, has not seen it yet. Serral definitely wants to get a very quick confirmation on this spy, and we'll see it now. It's like around halfway done. Immediately drops the Hydralisk Den and another Evolution Chamber. What can be very difficult against Muras, if you're the Hydra player, Roach Hydra player, is normally securing a 4th base. But this base is actually very close to the other ones, and there is already creep connecting it, so queens can help out a lot easier. It should be very doable to keep your Hydras alive. If you want to rally them towards there, you can build a Spore. So I see some potential here. Last time Reynor tried to play Mutalisk against Serral, he basically just made 7-8 Muras, went back into Roaches. This time, we haven't built a single Muta yet. He has fired up 1 Mutalisk, but he's mostly building a lot of Roaches. Because he sees the move out of Serral. Where is this Dropper Lord, by the way? Is this at home? Good to know. The Giga Spore, as Lambo calls it, should really help out. I like Giga Spore, guys. I'm gonna keep on using that one. Speedy Overseer here by Serral. This is a very useful scout, because if Reynor was going all out on Muras, then you would know that it's no Roaches spawning right now. It'd be Muras. This is actually very cute Roach positioning. Yeah, what the Muras will allow Reynor to do is really take control of the center of the map, and that will allow him to mine off his gold, while Serral can't really mine off his. It's actually very cool. That is one thing that I didn't quite think of. Serral has a few links attacking the original 3rd base of Reynor, but Reynor should be able to deal with this. Serral's gonna take out... I guess Serral forced a fight here eventually. If he comes in from here and here, he should be okay. But every second that goes by right now is gonna allow Reynor to get some real benefit from this gold. Serral not quite able to mine from it yet. Honestly, this is quite brilliant by Reynor. Didn't even think about it yet. Literally the first time that I see this kind of a ZVZ on Amygdala. Zergs are very rare in online cups, as we just covered earlier. This is cool stuff. Reynor's got Baneling speed on the way. It's only halfway done. Serral obviously knows that it's okay if he cannot mine from the gold for a split second, but that cannot go on forever. Or then Reynor will just get too far ahead. So he's going to do something about it. But Serral's got 30 Banelings, and I don't think Reynor knows anything about these 30 Banelings. They're all morphing in the natural. That is so many Banelings, tasteless. And Hydras take a lot of damage from Banelings. Roaches are good against Banes, Hydras are not. And also, the Mutas obviously have picked off all the Overlords, so Serral doesn't really have any map vision anymore. I'd love to see the Baneling attack come in from this angle. When does Serral see all these Banelings? At this point, he's got no idea. So this is the first time he's going to see them. He's going to run back immediately. Now, the good news for Serral is that his Hydras are very well protected. So that part is excellent, but the Bane train is still coming. Those corrosive balls, though, sweet baby Jesus, but Reynor does not care. The Honey Badger does not care. Can the Banelings find the connections they're looking for? They mostly went for Roaches here on the low ground. Maybe they should have gone for these Hydras, but in the end it is still Reynor by the looks of it, but he's got no Overseer. So Serral uses Burrow, is going to get full HP back on a lot of these units. Reynor clicks his army units in very, very deep. He's sitting on a crazy amount of money. Reynor still loves this fight, even though he was down in upgrades. Maybe overstayed his welcome a tiny bit. But if Reynor can just spend his piggy bank, I want to say he should be more than fine, but he does need to start spending his money. How many queens do we have? Only 3. Reynor's got money for days. Should not take a bad fight before all those reinforcements show up and before he can start spending that money. I mean, he spent all his gas on 30 banks. Reynor really feels like he's got Serral on the ropes. The supply doesn't quite back that up. Reynor, matey, you've got so much money. Down in upgrade, down in numbers, not quite the fight to take. It's starting to look more and more like Serral is going to take complete control of this fight and of this game. And that is a bit sad to see Reynor, who had some great moves, had a great fight, had a lot of money, unfortunately not be able to close it out like that. GG. Kudos to Serral. Great Burrow play there as well. I want to go back. I thought it was actually going still. Alt, even if the Baneling connection, like right here. I think that there's a couple Banelings that go for the Roaches here. They should have gone for these Hydras here, but that's alright. So obviously, upgrade-wise, it's sad, but like these Banelings, they do so much better here than they did here. But it's a lot of units clumped up, so it's still okay-ish. Reynor's bank is obviously a bit too big here. Reynor is down not 1 but 2 upgrades, and it's a bit painful. I think with this army, what Reynor should have done is just shoot at the hatchery, move here, shoot at the hatchery, and run away. Reynor seems to think that Serral really had nothing, but Serral actually has a lot of reinforcements. This is where it's really going wrong for Reynor. I think you shoot at the hatch, you move here, you shoot at the hatch, and you escape, and then you just remax. Because like at this point, the game does not look bad for Reynor. Sure, the upgrades are not in his favor, but if you kill this hatchery, and with this many units right on top here, you can kill this hatch, and you can escape towards the top left, and I think you're okay. Unfortunately, it was not meant to be. GG gets called. It is Serral once more after a 4-1 victory in the Masters Coliseum, who gets the 3-1 victory here today in the LiuLi Cup. Means that Serral will advance into round 2, the semi-finals of the upper bracket. He'll play tomorrow. Reynor drops to round 1 of the lower bracket, and he too will play tomorrow. I'll settle that prediction and give you guys the next one. And it is indeed Dark versus Max Pax up next.